Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Yes, welcome to the seventh meeting of the Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club and to the Evaluation Spotlight Challenge. At Champion Evaluators, we push the boundaries of learning. Each meeting is an experiment in excellence, and today we are doing something completely different. This time, there's no speaker on screen, only a voice. Our focus is on what we hear, the structure, the tone, and the modulation that make words come alive. It reminds me of something the legendary composer Ludwig van Beethoven once said: I will seize faith by the throat. It shall not bend me completely. Beethoven lost his hearing, yet created symphonies that still move the world because he learned to listen not with his ears but with his soul. This evening, we follow that same spirit. We listen not just to words but to pauses, rhythm, and emotion, discovering how voice alone can connect us to meaning. Before we begin, a few quick reminders for a smooth online experience. Please stay in a quiet place and keep your mic muted when not speaking. Keep your video on if possible. It helps us stay connected. And use your Zoom reaction, clap, a thumbs up, or a heart to cheer for our speakers and evaluators. With that, let's open our ears, mind, and heart for a new kind of learning experience. To officially begin the meeting, it's my pleasure to hand over to our presiding officer, Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty, passionate communicator and inspiring leader, who continues to elevate every champion evaluator session. Over to you, DTM2.
Toastmaster Savita, hearty welcome to the meeting. And let's first begin by giving a huge round of applause to Savita. Thank you for that inspiring opening. And every time I see you inspiring, every speech that you give during the opening is one after the other. It keeps me wondering, how do you manage to put them together? A very warm good evening, dear members. I hope all of you are doing great. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome each one of you to this meeting. We just completed Moments of Truth, a moment to step back from our daily events of evaluation, speeches, and all of this, and step back and learn. What have we done wrong? What can we do more? Can we move forward? But growth is not always when we move forward. Sometimes it's important to step back, think a little bit, listen to ourselves, listen to our peers, and then reflect, learn, and then grow. And that's what exactly we did today. So I think one thing that we have to do now is give a huge round of applause to our moderator, Distinguished Toastmaster Daryl Rodrigues, who did such beautiful moderation in putting this whole Moments of Truth together. And I hope we have done justice, and we're going to take the recommendations that we've given ourselves, and we're going to grow. So thank you, Daryl, for the time management that you started at 7 o'clock and we finished at 7:43 and 7:45, and that is excellent time management. Today we have very interesting session, and that session is Evaluation Spotlight. I'm not going to talk much about this event because it's new for me as well, although we put it together, but let's see how it's going to evolve when we practically apply it. But I'm really interested to see this. Every single day we're having something new. But the question is, how much are we learning and how much effort are we putting to learn? Now, recently we started something called as peer mentoring. Groups were formed together by our VP Education. And all I request you all is to put this into action, come together as team, take initiative, and put it into practice. That's very, very important. But before I move along, I'd also like to welcome our area director, Toastmaster Sandhya Naik, who was closely watching our Moments of Truth and making all the observations. So I'd like to give the stage to you, Sandhya, to speak and say a few words about what your feedback is as far as the Moments of Truth is concerned, and leave us with a bit of inspiration. Over to you, Sandhya.
Very good evening, dear champion evaluators. So it's my great pleasure to be coming here to give you recommendations, because I know Jyotika has been our area director as well as division director, and our first moments of truth for our club were done by Jyotika online. I still remember during COVID. So feeling very nostalgic about that. And she's always perfect in what she does. So she has taught us how to conduct it. And today I must say, Daryl also conducted it beautifully. And since you're an online club, as well as you're what do you call, an advanced club, I think TMI has to change the standards a bit. I think to suit your needs, the same old question. Some do not actually relate to you, but still, you found your perspectives to those standards, and you managed to connect it to what you do in your club. So that was a good thing. And although some of you are very enthusiastic to give 5, but still, I think you all are evaluators. So the evaluator in you came out and said, no, we'll give 3 or we'll give 4. So that was a good thing. Yes, because we have to evaluate. Like Jyotika said, there is room for improvement, and you all are a new club. So you will be, I think this is very good for you to have these moments of truth, because this is the first time you're having it, and you'll have new ideas on how to do things. So I think you did pretty well. I think first impressions you scored 27 out of 30. Membership orientation 23. Yeah, there some of the things you said you want to bring about some changes. So you scored yourself a little low in some of the points, standards. Fellowship variety, again, you scored well, 25. And program planning, you scored 29. And membership strength, again 26, and achievement recognition also 26. So you gave a very honest evaluation to your club, and you also had suggestions. So you said what you want to do, maybe about promotion, maybe making reels, or how you publicize your club, and certain things maybe which you're planning to do, open houses or whatever. So, and also having joint meetings. So you all discuss that, and I'm sure you're going to do it now, and maybe the evaluation workshop, which everyone will look forward to, where you said it's open to all. So I know that you also gave your own recommendations, and I don't have to add on to that. And Dr. Ballal and many of you gave suggestions and perspectives. So I think overall you did well, and you will be doing well. So that's what I want to tell you all. And I'm sure membership retention is also there, and you all are going to continue, because you all are here with the goal. Since you're dual members, you join this club with the goals, not like the regular clubs where we call guests and make them members and they join and then they find out. Here it's not like that. You already know what it is and you want to go a notch higher. So where your goal is set, you know what you're going to do and you will do it. So thank you for the opportunity, and all the best to President Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty and her team, ExCom members, as well as all the members of Champion Evaluators Club. Over to you, Jyotika, or the TM
Thank
Modi.
you. Thank you very much, AD Sandhya. Let's give Sandhya a huge round of applause. She always says such good things about her club. So, club, please keep visiting us again and again so that we get inspired from your talk, Sandhya. Thank you very much. Well, with that being said, I was a bit scared when we were looking at Moments of Truth, and Savita came back and said, no, it's very difficult for members to join. And I'm like, oh my God, is it that difficult? But the challenge is, how are we all going to make it even more better and easier for members to join our club? Challenges are going to be there. Challenges will come. Members will find it costly or expensive, but we have to make a club worth joining. And that is a quality that we can show our members. So I want one promise from all of you today. Are you going to work on yourself as much as possible so that you demonstrate that quality when others visit our club or amongst each one of us? Let's just raise a hand and say yes to ourselves so that we motivate and give a pat on each other's back. Yes, we promise ourselves. This is being recorded and it'll be on our YouTube channel. So you can always go back and listen to it and look at it just in case you forget. All right. So for the beginners, we have the mentor group together. Let's make use of that. Let's come together. 1 to 5. How many groups are there? We have 6 groups, Darrell. 5 groups. I hope all of you know which group you belong to. Who are your group, your peers? Please take the initiative. Do not wait for the team leader essentially to take the initiative, because everyone is a team leader. All what is important is find a suitable time, come together and practice. So thank you very much. We have no guests today, so we all know ourselves and there is no need to introduce again each other. So this is the moment to invite our secretary, Toastmaster Divya D'Souza, to read the minutes of the meeting, last meeting. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you, President Jyotika. The last meeting, meeting number 6, location Zoom meeting, was held on 25th September, 7:30. The Toastmaster of the day was Srivatsa GN. The Sergeant at Arms, Savita Salian, the distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salian. The speaker was Toastmaster Ashima Jain. The first evaluator was Toastmaster Radhika Daba. Second evaluator was Toastmaster Divya D'Souza. The panel moderator was DTM CK Balal. The first panelist was DTM Urmila Shetty. The second panelist was DTM Deepa Surendran. And the timer was Toastmaster Warren Cordero. Distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salian called meeting number 6 to order at 7:38 p.m. by stating the mission and online etiquette. She emphasized during her opening how this club not only focused on evaluation, but various parameters to build speech excellence, and how evaluation becomes a powerful tool for transformation. The distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty warmly welcomed members and guests, especially Area Director Sandhya Naik. She highlighted how evaluation can sharpen our message and urge members to take up roles that you may not have taken up till now and have the opportunity to sharpen your skills, and how this club is especially focused on sharpening your evaluation skills. The highlights of this meeting was the induction of 2 new members. VP membership Lyra Pinto, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra Pinto, inducted the new members, Toastmaster Anu Sharma and Toastmaster Warren Cordero. The business part of the meeting, there was a change of meeting schedule. President Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty proposed to move meeting days from 2nd and 4th Thursdays to 2nd and 4th Mondays, and put up a poll for members, having confirmed that we have the required quorum of 15 members. All members voted in favor of the proposal, and a screenshot of the poll was taken by the Secretary for future records. The Toastmaster of the day, Srivatsa GN, set the tone with energy and enthusiasm with a quote saying that the purpose of evaluation is not to judge but to inspire. He went on to introduce the 3 sections of the meeting: prepared speeches, evaluations, and panel evaluations. The prepared speech section was led by Toastmaster Ashima Jain with the titles of the speech, The Lost Soul, a short expression on how mentoring makes an impact, while sharing a short story about Gudia, a little girl who was bullied and the consequences of not being heard, and how she found herself back again, and ended with a message of how a true mentor can nurture you. The evaluation section was led by Toastmaster. The evaluation section, the 2 evaluators were Toastmaster Radhika Adappa and Toastmaster Divya D'Souza. Both evaluators shared their recommendations of the speech by Toastmaster Ashima Jain, while sharing vital feedback on all aspects of the speech, sharing their individual commendations and recommendations. The panel evaluation section was led by the panel moderator, Distinguished Toastmaster CK Balal, and the 2 panelists were Distinguished Toastmaster Urmila Shetty and Distinguished Toastmaster Deepa Surendran. Distinguished Toastmaster CK Balal began his debut as a panel moderator and began to ask each panelist their individual views of the analytical quality of each of the evaluators. He also inquired about the quality of recommendations of both evaluators and whether time was used appropriately and whether they demonstrated the recommendations. He further asked each of the panelists on their technique of evaluation and how each of the evaluators summated their evaluation. Each of the panelists shared their views on each of the evaluators, sharing their views, commendations, and recommendations with valuable insights, with specific examples to enhance their evaluations, while identifying key points to put their attention for future evaluations. The cross-examination, where Distinguished Toastmaster CK Babal gave both the evaluators the opportunity to ask panelists questions and clarifications. Toastmaster of the day, Srivatsa Jain, handed the meeting back to the president. The president congratulated all the members for taking up roles for the first time and then requested the area director to share a few words. She then asked the guests and members to share their experiences. She announced the best evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Divya D'Souza. She informed that the next meeting would have the Moment of Truth section and urged all members to attend. The president also informed everyone that there are many plans to help the members to enhance the evaluation skills with an evaluation template that is presently being worked on, as well as group mentoring sessions, and more details would follow in the meetings to come. The president then adjourned the meeting. The next meeting was decided to be on 13th of October, and that was meeting number 7 at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Divya. Are there any observations on the minutes that have just been read? Is there any observation?
You can
Right,
write it.
sorry. So there are no observations, so we can, the minutes are accepted.
So
Would anyone like to move
Yeah.
a motion to? Actually, there is no need to move a motion, to be honest, because it's already put in the group. I'm not very sure how many have read it though, but we presume it's read. But Divya has already read it. So if there are no changes or no observations, the minute is accepted as presented. Thank you very much, Divya. Now we'll quickly move on to the meeting because I know you are waiting for that special segment, which is the evaluation spotlight. Let's find out without wasting more time. And I'd like to call upon to the screen an individual who I would like to say is ever ready. Someone who's energetic, someone who's giving, and who makes a lot of impact with her presence. If there's one quality she has from the various qualities she has, that is the ability to bring members to Toastmasters. Very resourceful, and she is Vice President Membership of Champion Evaluators. Ladies and gentlemen, members, please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the evening, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra Pinto. Over to you, Lyra.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jyotika. I feel a little elated, So I must push myself to the chair. Good evening, Toastmasters. I would start with this hymn. This little guiding light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little guiding light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little guiding light of mine, I'm going to let it shine all the time, let it shine. Welcome to the session, dear chair members of Champion Evaluators and guests, if any. I am Lyra Pinto, the Toastmaster of the day for you for this evening. Just like the radiant light which I sang in this hymn, every champion evaluator carries a spark that lights up learning, nurtures confidence, and guides speakers towards brilliance. Here at Champion Evaluators, we take pride in the art of giving and receiving evaluations that elevate, enlighten, and empower speakers to their best version. And this is what we will experience this evening. Our meeting has 3 segments. First is a prepared speech session. But today we might not have a speaker, but instead we'll have an audio of the speaker. Second is the evaluation session. 4 evaluators will reflect on the strengths of the speech and areas for growth. And third is a panel evaluation session where the panel evaluation of evaluators will give their feedback to the evaluators. For today's meeting, our timer is Toastmaster Divya D'Souza, the secretary of our own club. Her virtual background will change colors to indicate the time signals, green, yellow, and red. To make sure you don't miss these signals, please pin the timer on your screens. Now it's time for our prepared speech session. The speaker's name is Risha. She's a level 1 project 3 evaluation and feedback. The title of the speech is The Driving Force. And timer, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please make a note. The purpose statement. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. The member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses to. The member may ask you, if at all, to evaluate the second speech at a future meeting, or might choose another evaluator by using the feedback given by you. Now I request the Zoom master to share the audio.
Knowledge is the driving
Can't hear.
Do we have a problem? It's not audible. Zoom master. Darren?
today. My speech is going to be about my driving force, the force that drives me, my chauffeur.
Start there. Could we start it all over again?
Yes,
yeah.
1 second.
Yeah.
Cutting off.
It is breaking, yeah, in between. The voice is breaking. Evaluators, please bear.
Yes. Knowledge is the driving force that puts creative passion to work. Self-motivation drives success. Fear is not the best driving force, passion is. Hold on, Toastmasters. Today, this zestful evening, I don't want to bore you by talking about the driving forces of knowledge, fear, passion, self-motivation. Instead, today, my speech is going to be about my driving force, the force that drives me, my chauffeur or driver. My first driver, Purnu. I remember Purnu from the time I remember anything at all. He was always in and around the house. Whenever some device used to not work at home, not necessarily the car, Purnu would be summoned and he would mend whatever electrical or mechanical device it was. Purnu was the one who was responsible for ferrying us 5 children of the household to and from school. And our school was very far from the house in the village. So it meant that we ended up spending a lot of time in his company. And since he was a chatterbox, it meant that we interacted with him quite a lot as well. Purnu used to tell us stories about the village and how a chance encounter with the goons had left his hand permanently deformed. Every day after school, as I used to board the car, Purnu would shove some eatable or the other into my hands. Usually in the winter, it was berries or bogri as we call them in Assamese. God knows from which tree did he get those berries. I have never tasted anything at par with those. He used to quietly put them into my hands, closing my fingers over them, making me feel like I was his favorite. However, I had done nothing special to earn his extra favor, so I believe that everyone in the car believed the same, that they were his favorite. Do you remember the secret cough between Prem and Nisha in the movie Hum Aapke Hai Kaun? Well, the movie was released in 1994, but Purnu had been coughing like that since the 1980s. This cough was used by Purnu to signal his arrival. Whenever we were at a friend's house or tuitions, he never used to come and ring the doorbell. He used to just stand by the door and do ooh, ooh, and we would know that Purnu and our car is there waiting to take us back home. His cough became so famous that all my friends and relatives also started recognizing it. And they used to call out to us, "Hey, your driver is here." Purnu was a driving instructor, not only to me, but 14 of my cousins. However, growing up with Purnu around had its own share of side effects. Whenever the car used to make a noise, Purnu used to say that there is something wrong with the circuit sharpen. I grew up thinking that there is a component in every car called socket jabber, only to realize later in life that this socket jabber is actually a shock absorber. When I got married, I had to leave the comfort of the back seat of Purnu's car to land into the car of another gentleman called Kulen Thakuria. If there is anyone in this whole world who needs Toastmasters the most, it is Kulen. Just like Purnu was famous for his uhu uhu, Kulen is famous for his communication skills or the total lack of it. One day, I sat in the car. I was lost in my thoughts and I forgot to mention to him where he needed to drive me to. I kept thinking and he kept driving until I realized that I was in the outskirts of the city. I asked, "Where are you taking me?" He said, "You never mentioned," so I kept driving. Thankfully, I was aroused from my reverie, else that day he would have kept driving until the car would run out of fuel in the middle of nowhere. But Kulen is definitely a better driving instructor than Purnu. Just imagine that you were taking a driving lesson with Kulen by your side and you were to bang on a light post or even hit a man. Kulen would do nothing. He would just keep sitting. 5 minutes into the driving class and you would realize that you are basically on your own. Hence, be more careful and learn to drive faster. But Kulen's knowledge about the narrowest lanes of Guwahati is unparalleled. After being my driver for 10 years, the Ola Uber bug hit him and he left me to drive his own vehicle. However, he's just a call away and often comes. Then came Sanjeev, a typical Gen Z. He's all of 24 and changes phones just like the timer changes the cards. He's more often found in his village in Bihar than in my car, hence not too many stories about him. Often in our life, we get so engrossed in pursuing our driving forces of motivation, knowledge, and passion that we forget that our life has been shaped and affected by so many people around us. I'm really thankful for the presence of these three gentlemen in my life, because of whom I often did not have to worry about finding the perfect parking spot or navigating on the GPS. I hope that my Sanjeev continues to stay with me for many more years, just like Purnu and Kulen. And in my fifth path of pathways, I will definitely dedicate a speech to him. Till then, thank you.
Toastmaster Divya, could you share the the speaker's time taken?
6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah, evaluators, please make a note. Well, now I request the Zoom master to move the 4 evaluators, that is Toastmaster Shalini Mukul, Toastmaster Ashma Jain, Toastmaster Vijay Prabhudevan, and DTM Savita into the breakout rooms.
I don't see PTM Savita here.
Yeah,
Ah, what happened?
I'll call and check.
Yeah. So in the meantime, can the others be moved? The evaluators into the breakout room? We're waiting for Savita. Give her a 5 seconds. Let's see. This should be back.
Ashima, can you accept the request to move to the breakout room? Yeah, they are in the breakout room. We
Yeah,
can proceed.
okay. Now the balance sheet will be shared in the chat box, and I request you all to keep it ready for the evaluation session. While our evaluators prepare their feedback in the breakout room, let's use this time to reflect together as an audience. The beauty of a Toastmasters meeting is that every person here notices something different. So here is a question for all of you. What do you like the most, or what aspect of the speech touch you, or how did you feel? You can unmute and share your thoughts one by one.
No, I like the subtle humor.
Okay.
Like good language.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you,
And,
Radhika.
yeah, and an interesting speech.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Anybody? Miss Matilda Pinto?
I felt like I was going back to Malgudi days,
Ah,
my childhood. Not that I had a
okay.
driver, but at least it kind of resonated with that era.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
I liked her
And
language. Her language was good.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, I know.
I was impressed
Ima-
by the human bond, the relationship between the family, the children in the family, and the driver from a remote
I know.
village from far away.
I
The,
know. Yeah.
the
Correct.
trust, the
Yeah.
bond, which make memories for the future.
Anybody? Hima Urmila Shetty.
I liked
Happily
how he gave eatables and closed the fingers around the eatables, making each child feel special. And also the fact that we often take such people for granted. They're just a part of our lives. That she's taken them out of being just adjuncts to her life and made them real for us. Yes.
Anybody? Malini Mukund? Dr. CK? Warren? Anybody? Anybody is free to share your thoughts.
I
I had
found the
difficulty with the audio.
speech emotionally impactful.
Okay. All right. Okay. Doctor said something? Dr. CK?
Yeah, I said that difficulty with the audio.
Yeah,
It was,
initially it was. Yeah.
so I think,
Later.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. Okay. That's the beauty of this Advanced Toastmasters Club. Thank you for putting across your thoughts. It gave us a whole spectrum of insights. Now, why
If
did
I
I sing that song? Why did I sing that hymn initially on light? Any guesses?
Because you are
Because
approaching
you're the
Diwali.
light.
No. Doctor, what did doctor say?
You are approaching Diwali.
Yes, doctor. One Cadbury chocolate when I meet you next. I owe you, okay?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Let's give a round of applause for doctor. Doctor is so smart for his young age. Is doctor?
Age is no bar for being smart, Lyra. We can debate that in the Let's
Yeah.
Debate Club.
Okay.
I have
Do we have
something
time?
more to add. I have one
Yeah.
thing more to add. I was just observing all the participants when the speaker was making the speech. It didn't look like everybody was paying attention. That's from your body language and expression. Each one engaged in his or her own thoughts and activities. So visually, we must take care to see as an audience that we are focused and paying attention to the speaker as we do in a real club. So how do you ensure that? So that the speaker is not discouraged, because she's also watching you all while she's making the speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Patty. Noted. Do we still have time, Daryl, for this? Yeah, we still have time. Okay. Now, are you all excited about Diwali? I am excited. Diwali and Christmas. Let us get out of this. Speak about Diwali and the festival of lights, which is going to light up our lives, our surrounding, isn't it? Our families, and lot of sharing and caring. Doctor, what
Diwali
are you going
means
to share?
Sorry.
What are you
Diwali.
planning to share? Yes,
Uh,
yes, Miss Bhatti, please
Time's
speak.
up,
Okay.
Toastmaster.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I call upon the first evaluator, Toastmaster Shalini, to evaluate. Can she be let in? Is she in? Yeah, yeah. Toastmaster Shalini, it's time for you to evaluate.
Toastmasters. A chance acquaintance, a great buddy, a storyteller for life. This story is more like the story by Tagore, Kabuliwala, where a little girl grows up when a Kabuliwala visits her and then life changes for her. If I have to go by the content of the speaker's speech, it was a great start, lot of energy, it was tightly knit, and an interesting story about a girl and how any ordinary human being whom she interacted with on a day to day life, it was in this case a driver, made a difference to her life. She also used some great words like reverie instead of the word dream. The delivery was energetic, filled with enthusiasm and love for the skill that the speaker was learning, which is driving, or accompanied by the driver. The message was great that not everyone who makes a positive difference to our lives will be there all the time. People come and go for a reason, but the lessons they leave behind are worth a lifetime. But if I may have to talk about some areas that the speaker can improve upon, is the first one, what I understood was the voice modulation of the speaker can be done a lot better. It only went on the high and low intonation. Every time it was going high, coming low, going high, coming low. It was not modulated according to the instances that were given in the speech. For example, when the speaker spoke about the transition part of her life when she got married, that time the voice could have been more on the reflectory note and not just a high and a low tone. Point number one. Point number two, the start could have been very engaging, like asking a question, a quote, or a scenario. Raise your hands if you come across a driving instructor who's been very kind to you, or something like raise your hands if you come across a driving instructor who's there to make your life tough even when you don't know driving. So something like that could have really engaged the audience. Last but not the least, the speaker did give a very important message, but the message could have also been a real takeaway for the audience, that it is important what life lessons we learn from the people around us. Overall, I would say a good speech, relatable to us in our day to day lives with a lot of real life experiences. But to make it an exceptionally good speech, a great speech rather, voice modulation is very important, and it is not just the high and the low of the tone. Transitions have to be smoother and hooks have to be engaging. The beginning of any speech has to be very engaging. If these things are followed, this speech can be definitely taken to a top notch level.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalini Mukund, for that lovely evaluation. Now I call upon the second evaluator. Daryl, just let her in. Toastmaster Ashma Jain.
Let's have 1 minute of silence for us to mark
Oh, sorry.
ballots.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's 1 minute. Have we shared the link?
It's in
Okay.
the
The
chat.
link is shared. Yeah. Kindly. Divya, let me know when 1 minute is over.
We can proceed.
Yeah. Now I call upon the second evaluator, Toastmaster Ashma Jain, to evaluate. Toastmaster Richa.
Uh, am I supposed to go first or the evaluator one?
Evaluator 1 is over. Now it's your turn. Yeah, you can start.
Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't realize that.
It's okay.
Hello, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Oh, oh, the prominent cuff of Punu
Tyra, can we ask her
is one of the
to fix
Yeah,
examples
her?
that
excuse me, Ashma Jain. Sorry
that
to interrupt. Your voice is
yeah,
breaking. I think you better come closer
then
to the monitor.
I'll sit in.
You better sit down, sit down. Yeah. You can start all over again. You can timer now, Divya. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh. This is where one of the very interesting ways to alert people and make your identity. Though it also comes with the challenges that you cannot control your cough at the time of needs. Moving on to the highlights, the speaker, Richa, has a very interesting message and she set the whole tone and um, set the whole tone and the intention, the message from at the very beginning that knowledge starts you to drive, but people in your life motivates to drive. This is one of the highlights of her speech. The second highlight, I like the way speaker Richa has derived that from her life how the three drivers in her life motivates her or inspired her to drive on the road. Third, she very carefully created three characters, driver Punnu, Colin, and Sanjeev, and build the story around them to make it interesting and a bit humorous. My recommendations to Richa would be, I felt the character building in the script has not been done carefully. For instance, the speaker spoke about driver Punno at length, telling about how he drives, how he used to make special everybody in the car, uh, the stories he would tell about the villagers, and whatnot. Wherein, when the second character, Colin, she described as her husband, she mentioned that he lacks the communication, but there was no anecdote or even mention of any kind of example that she could describe that he is not a good communicator. Hence, for even Sanjeev, the third driver in her life, again, was just described in merely two sentences. She tried, I mean, I would have really loved it if she would have divided all the three characters into three different parts and would have given stress on each and every driver that how it helped her in driving or achieving different aspects in her life, like what she learned from driver Puno, as in he was very humble. He made her realize how can humility or a little stories of the villagers can hook to small kids. The second recommendation from my end is I somehow felt the message of the script or the whole speech was not connected at the summation part or at the conclusion part. she tried to communicate that her message was that knowledge is a driving inspires us to do something, but the drivers in the life motivates or creates inspires you to do a lot of things in the life. But again, there was no conclusion at the end that what she picked up from all these three drivers that would have motivated. At the last, I would like to give her a challenge that if she could next time work on the structure or the script, um, that would have been really made the whole speech to the next level. At the last, I would uh, acknowledge and give her a praise the way she added humor by telling how her husband drove her out of the cities without giving any instruction. So this is one of the humorous ways she explained and made the interest in her speech. So one of the I would say she was a the speech was very good, but she could have made it better by adding some of the recommendations what I mentioned. Thank you, and over to the to TMOG.
Yeah, thank you, Ashma Jane. Hope you have pinned the timer. Did you pin the timer? Yeah, okay. Now let's call the third evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay Prabhudevan. Have we let him in? No. Vijay Prabhudevan.
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah. You can start now, Vijay. Yeah.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, particularly my invisible targeted speaker. Always they say knowledge is power, but you little bit tweaked. Knowledge is the driving force. I started observing, started listening to your speech because of the first line. And let me begin with the recommendations. You have used a very rich language today to hook the audience. So for example, Chatterbox driving throughout the city in Guwahati, movie details from Hum Aapke Hindkon, backseat of the cover. We could able to visually image this speech, even though you are visually, you are not available in front of us. The language was appropriate, clear, and easily I can able to understand. Coming to the audio and the volume, it is very perfect. The speech pace was very good. Volume is appropriate. We could able to hear your speech. I think you are very comfortable when you are delivering your speech. That's what I understood from your delivery of the speech, even though it is very, very beginning of your Toastmaster journey. Coming to the emotion, you are trying to bring more little subtle humor, and you can able to connect with us because of the car the story. I can able to connect every day. I travel from home to office and coming back, and you brought the three stories. I could able to connect, and we are all stuck in traffic jam. And you brought a different stories with your drivers. Could able to connect. Definitely, I can able to connect with your story. Coming to the recommendation, since you are not physically present, I urge you to come and present in front of the audience. I could not able to understand what is your physical gesture, non-verbal communication. Could not able to see it. Whether you have purposeful movement, effective use of stage. Could not able to understand all these things at all. Coming to the second point, the transition. There are so many elements in your story. The transition was not very clear. Maybe you restrict to one or two stories, maximum two stories. So opening two stories, then coming to the conclusion could have been made this speech from good to great speech. I just want to challenge you to come up to the stage and present it to respect all the audience here, which they are giving you a time to summarize. It is definitely emotional speech, and the speed is good. Only thing, come present your speech in front of them. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Vijay. Sorry, I didn't give a minute to mark your ballot at the for the second evaluator. Plus, you can take little 5 more, like a minute more. So I give you 2 minutes to mark your ballot. In the meantime, can I ask timer Divya for the report? The time taken by the evaluators, 3 evaluators, because we lost Savita in between. So today we're having only 3 evaluators.
So the time taken by Shalini Mukund was 2 minutes, 40 seconds. The second is Ashima Jain, 5 minutes, 10 seconds. And Mr. Vijay Prabhudevan, 3 minutes, 15 seconds.
So only 2 are qualified.
Yes.
Except for Ashma Jain, right? Other 2 are
Shalini Mukund
qualified.
and Vijay
Yeah,
Prabhudevan.
okay. So members, please make a note while you vote. Shall I proceed? Before we proceed for the last session, can we have a picture, a photograph, or can we have it towards the end? It's left to your, kindly be on your cameras, like turn on your cameras, please. Adhika, Miss Patty, Warren, yes. Anu,
We'll click the photo and then we'll have the voting. Okay?
yeah.
All right, everyone. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Now, yeah, please cast your vote. I think, yeah, put it up on the chat box, the voting.
Yeah, it'll be launched in a few seconds.
Yeah, okay. All right. Shall I go for the last session?
Let's finish the voting and then we can vote.
Yeah, okay. So what do you all have to say about this audio speaker?
I don't approve of it.
Other than the evaluators,
No.
you prefer having the speaker in person?
Yes, any day.
Yeah, I know. Because the gestures, as Vijay Prabhudevan said,
We have
yes.
lost 50%.
Yeah, correct.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah.
I like this because after all, we're learning something more. So we are focusing in detail on audio.
Yeah.
And what we can, because when we see a lot of body language, we may miss the finer details sometimes. It's interesting how without body language, the 3 evaluators managed to, they rose up to the challenge and actually evaluated. And
yeah, correct.
even went
You know,
on to shoot
we
5 minutes.
imagine the person, like in person, the speaker in person.
No, because sometimes we may not go into such detail on just trying to understand the
You're right.
audio. Yeah.
Thank you for your thoughts. Yeah.
May I
18
say?
here. Only 9 have voted. Request the others to vote also, please.
Yeah, kindly vote, please. The rest of you.
Can't get it.
It's on the chat.
I am on the chat.
Yeah. Darren?
It must have come on your screen, the voting.
Yeah. Give you half a minute more.
I can't see it in the chat actually.
Huh?
It's not in the chat. It's a poll.
It's there.
It's a poll that
It's
is.
there. See, Miss, how
No,
madam
only the. I'm getting
was the
only
first.
the.
Right, I'll close.
Can you resend it? Repost
I
it.
don't know. I can see everyone in your chat, but I can't see.
can't see it either.
Okay, I'm relaunching the poll. I request
Okay.
everyone. I request
Okay.
everyone to post.
Okay, Jyotika.
Did you receive it?
Yeah, all have received?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, done.
all? Yeah, please go ahead. All done? Okay.
Yes.
We now come to a very distinctive part of our meeting, the panel session. Like always, we have two panelists today. Our panelists will evaluate the evaluator, giving feedback on how the evaluations were structured and delivered. In second part, the same panelists will focus on the speech itself, analyzing the two key aspects, that is the voice modulation and the speech structure. And to moderate this panel, I now invite our own president, DTM Jyotika, who will be the panel moderator, and the panelists for today are DTM Maria Feliz de Costa.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
The moderator is, I'm so sorry. The moderator is, I'm so sorry. Moderator is our own VPA. So sorry. Excuse me. Daryl Rodericks. And our panelists are Maria Feliz de Costa and our president, DTM Jyotika Shetty. Over to you, Daryl. Sorry for that.
Thank
There was
you.
a small
Thank you
change
very
in
much.
the
I was
in the
just short
in
of
the
getting a big heart attack here.
no, in the panelists there was a small change. Yeah,
There was a
that
change.
was
There was
there
a
was a
So
small
thank you.
change. Yeah.
Thank you.
Over
Thank
to
you
you.
so much, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra. To be honest, I wouldn't complain if you called me Jyotika as well, because with her passion and dedication, it's a compliment to be called Jyotika. Uh, Good evening, everybody, and welcome
Good
to
evening.
the panel evaluation with regard to this evaluation spotlight challenge. Now, before I invite the panelists, this particular challenge happens once in a quarter, and this particular today's evaluation spotlight challenge was dedicated to evaluate just two aspects of speech delivery, speech, that is, one is the speech structure, and the other is voice modulation. It was clear that body language will not and need not be discussed with regard to the evaluation today. And this is not going to happen every time. So this is just to test those particular aspects or understand how closely we as evaluators can observe aspects as speech structure and vocal variety. Well, joining me on the panel today are two distinguished Toastmasters. One is distinguished Toastmaster Maria de Costa, and the other is distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty. Thank you, Jyotika, for stepping in at the last moment. We had a back out at the end. So thank you for your commitment. All right, so we heard Richa speak today, and her speech was titled The Driving Force. We'll quickly take 5 minutes for each evaluator and introspect on what went well, how we can go better. So I'm going to ask the timer to show me the green card for every evaluator at 4 minutes and the red card at 5 minutes. All right. Let's start with our first evaluator, Toastmaster Shalini. Now, Shalini's I'm going to start and ask Jyotika, DTM Jyotika, what was your first impression when you heard Shalini's opening as an evaluator? She spoke about Kabuliwala and then the things that stood out. So when you heard her as an evaluator, what was the first impression?
Well, I think this is what we look, what I see for in a good evaluator, that is giving me reference to something that will grab my attention. And her reference to Kabuliwala took me there because that's exactly how I felt. And just a little while ago, talked about Malgudi days. So I think that sat well. And she really grabbed my attention, and she had that force, she had that panache in which she started. And that's exactly what I would look at in a evaluator.
Thank you, Jyotika. Let's move on to DTM Maria. DTM Maria, when I'm going to specifically talk about the commendations that Shalini gave. She said content stood out, delivery, and message. And she gave us certain aspects like the content was tightly knit, delivery was energetic, and the message in terms of how people are there in your life for a reason. Um, Now, did you resonate with the way she put it across? As in, did you feel she could have elaborated more, given us examples as in, okay, this is what stood out, how was the delivery energetic? What were your thoughts?
Yes. She was very energetic and very clear about the way she spoke. In fact, she matched the energy of the person who gave the speech. And what she said, she was even specific when she spoke about voice modulation. She said when she was speaking about the marriage and how she could have deferred it a little bit because she spoke about how the voice modulation was only high and low. She really spoke with a lot of energy. Her summation was good, and it was a very energetic evaluation that she gave.
Thank you. Thanks, DTM Maria. I'm going to ask the same question now to Jyotika. When Shalini gave us those commendations, did you actually resonate with it as a highlight in her speech? As in, did she tell you how it stood out for her? Did you understand that?
Well, I would say that the evaluator must give a little bit of thought to the commendations. Not that she didn't pick up the right point, she did pick up the right point but her speed was very fast. Her pacing of the recommendation was very fast, so the entire speech is very. So, first recommendation that I would make is please slow down the recommendations that you would make because people would not be able to catch it. And I think she spent more time on the recommendation while talking about intonations or starting with a quote and all of that. That really stood with me. But if you tell me, what stood out for me, or rather what retained as far as commendation is concerned, I'm still struggling. And therefore, it is very clear that I think she really needs to give it a bit of thought and give a little more examples, probably a few instances in which she felt that the structure was good and how it really helped her understand the message well. Probably that would have been better. So slow down the speech a little bit is what I would say.
Fantastic. Thank you, DTM Jyotika. DTM Maria, now you spoke about vocal variety, and that was one aspect that uh, we needed to evaluate here in today's speech, considering we heard Richa, right? Is there anything else when it comes to vocal variety that probably the speaker included, didn't include, and the evaluator missed it?
The speaker's vocal variety was not very clear. She was on a high note right from the beginning till the end. She was rather fast. With that, since it was very fast, faster than the evaluator, it was, she was getting very emotional as she was speaking about it. It was a personal story, so she had all. But yes, and what I would say, can you come again with what you asked me, please?
Is there any other aspect of vocal variety that the evaluator missed to mention, either in commendations or recommendations for the speech?
Yeah, she missed to mention the vocal variety, which the speaker could have used very carefully. Because first of all, we do not see the person, we do not see the facial expressions and gestures. And the only thing that we could hear was her voice, and therefore there should have been vocal variety. Tonal change is important for a speaker like that, so that a story could have been more impactful.
All right, thank you, DT Maria. I'm going to conclude the section for Shalini with one last question to Jyotika. Jyotika, if you could suggest one way to Shalini to say make her evaluation more insightful, what would you tell her?
Well, I think she understands the concept of evaluation and she's quite clear in what she did. What I would say is spend some time in summarizing the evaluation, because when you gave the recommendation, when there's a difference, like we heard from Hashim, who said that there's a difference between evaluation, summarizing, and conclusion. And I think conclusion is where you fell short, because you spoke about the commendations, but you used this word called but, and then you added the recommendation that, and we always often say that but all these words are something that we can avoid. So that is something that you can look at. And towards the end, rather than just abruptly concluding the speech, you could probably add in a sentence and leave it on a high note. Remember, your speech was for 2 minutes, 40 seconds, which means you still had almost 1 minute there. So therefore, you could have put in a little bit more thought, slow down a little bit, added a little bit of value as far as summarizing is concerned, reaffirmed or reinstated your points again in a much more defining manner. That would probably make a lasting impact. But otherwise, I really enjoyed your speech or your evaluation.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Jyotika. So, Toastmaster Shalini, if I had to summarize what we discussed in the last 5 to 6 minutes, as far as your evaluation is concerned, is that you had a great opening with that, with the introduction of another character or a concept of Kabuliwala. Your commendations were a little quick. Probably you can slow them down, give us examples in between so that it stays with the speaker. Recommendations were on point, and you focused focused well on vocal variety as well. A little more focus on ensuring your summary is impactful, insightful, and probably last again bring that story of Kabuliwala. Your evaluation would be one full circle. But well done, Toastmaster Shalini, and wish you all the best in the future. Let's quickly move on to the next evaluator, that is Toastmaster Ashima. Now, Ashima, when she started her evaluation, she coughed and she gave us that tried to link that to the speech. Whereas that was not, at least that's not, was that the main factor or the main the focal point in the speech? DTM Maria, would you like to share anything here?
Yes, that shouldn't have been there because that was a little bit of a distraction. Actually, I was wondering why she did it. However, perhaps she had her own views about it. I thought actually initially her voice was breaking. Okay, her message was interesting, but I certainly say that the opening could have been smoother and she could have just jumped into the evaluation rather than begun like this. Yes, it was motivational, but yes, whatever she said, she gave us suggestions, and yes, and she even overshot her time.
Yes. All right. So thanks, DTM Maria. Coming to the highlights that Ashima mentioned, she spoke about I didn't get time to write down the statement, but it was one statement that stood with her. The lessons derived from the drivers and characters. Now, as far as commendations are concerned, Jyotika, do you resonate? Do you connect with this, or do you feel there was a mismatch with what you felt as an evaluator for the speech?
Well, I think Kashif, the second evaluator, spoke about setting the tone and intention. While I would like to give it to her as a benefit of the doubt, that's the way she looked at the speech. But does it resonate with the audience? I think that is where the working has to be done. And probably some examples when she says what it is that she means by saying setting the tone or the intention. Some examples could be given that would probably elaborate the intention behind setting this particular sentence, is what I would say. Right? But there's nothing wrong in her saying that. But for me, it would have been more clear if she had given me examples that would help me to understand.
All right. Thank you, DTM Jyotika. DTM Maria, Ashima's recommendations were, she gave two recommendations. One was on character building and message. Uh, Now, I would assume character building would help somewhere in vocal variety, right? What would you want to tell her as an evaluator if she can improve in terms of recommendations?
Yeah, that character building part was not carefully done. She recommended that there should be only one driver rather than three drivers, so that her focus could have been on one. The structure of the evaluation was the structure could have been a little better. Was better. Even her message to her was not very clear, and yes. Yeah, yes. That's what I feel about hers. Because that suggestion of having only one driver, she said if there was one driver, it would have been better. But the speaker has a freedom to have 3 drivers because she chose to speak about the 3 drivers.
All right. Thank you, DTM Maria. DTM Jyotika, what are your views on this now? Because there were 3 drivers and the stories were not of the same length. So
Yes,
what
Yeah.
what would
exactly.
So
you tell?
this is where I would agree with Ashima, that is the second evaluator, where she said character scripting could have been done better. What she meant was enough importance is given to all the 3 characters, and I agree with her because even I felt that there was more time given to Punnu because there were a lot of things to say. The second colon didn't get a lot of time, although she spoke a little bit, but Sanjay was completely ignored in the process. So for me, if you ask me, did it emotionally resonate with me? Yes, it took me a little bit to the yesteryears and all of that, but did the message really clearly come to you? Was it really emotionally connecting? I don't think it was, because the justice was not made to all the 3 characters, and this is where I totally resonate and agree with the evaluator.
Right. Thanks, DTM Jyotika. Now let's address the elephant in the room where our evaluator took more than 5 minutes for her speech, right? And uh, even if we do not miss the even if we miss the timer, I think we as evaluators should know when to stop, when not, when to stop. So what recommendation would you both give? I'll ask Jyotika first and then come to DTM Maria. With regard to speech evaluation timing, how would you time your commendations, recommendations, and summary when you deliver an evaluation?
Well, I think I'd like to only say that welcome to the club, Ashima. I was like you once upon a time who didn't know how to manage time. With practice, you can do everything. So there is no magic pill of how you can do it. I would only say focus on practicing, practice, and you will get it. You will find your own mechanism in which you have to do it, because some of them say you finish your recommendation even before you touch the green. For some, it works, for some, it doesn't. But ideally, you look at the time, pin the timer, finish your recommendations or the commendations before you touch the green, and then you start wrapping up before you reach red. Right? For me, honestly, it doesn't work that way because I have my own way of doing it. I leave it to you. All I can say is practice, practice, and practice.
All right. TT Maria, do you have any tips for
Yeah,
Ashima when it comes
yeah,
to you?
I would say because I have learned a lesson myself last time when I overshot the time. So I have decided to keep my phone and mark the time so that I know when to start and when to stop. And yes,
All
so
right.
have
Thank you,
your
DTM.
own phone. Yes, have your own phone and you
All right.
time your speech.
Thank you, DTM Maria, and thank you, DTM Jyotika, for those insights. For our second evaluator, Toastmaster Ashima, summarizing what we discussed in the last few minutes
Daryl,
is
one thing which is very important here. I think summarizing is very important. Summary was
There
not
was no
done well. It
summary.
kind of,
There
yes,
was
because she
no summary.
realized she was overshooting time, and so summary is extremely important. And you know, in the judges' ballot also, it holds a lot of. So practice that. Do the summary and the conclusion. That will help
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
give a
yes.
holistic approach to the speech.
all right. So, summarizing what we discussed, Ashima, in the last few minutes is when you start your evaluation, uh, begin with a bang so that your speaker starts on a high listening to you, and use some focal point of the speech to bring out that. Whereas when it comes to your highlights and recommendations, I think they were on point as far as what you wanted to mention with regard to character building and things like that. When it comes to time, keep practicing at club meetings and outside club meetings. Learn how to manage your evaluation in the stipulated time, and of course, I'm sure you'll become a champion evaluator in the days to come. With that, let's now move on to the third evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay. We are running short of time, so I'll try and keep it as quick as possible. Um, Let me start with Jyotika here. When it comes to Vijay's evaluation, um, when he started and when he gave us those commendations, did you resonate with what he said, or would you have done things a little differently?
Well, I would certainly give examples because adding more depth comes from the examples that you give, and the richness of the analytical quality is based on how you look at it and how it has helped you to enhance the message. Because at the end of the day, why do we listen to the speech? It's for the message it gives out. So has it instead of just ticking the box, because that is what I felt today, the commendations were more like ticking the boxes. So maybe the evaluator could look at it a little bit in a much more holistic manner and see, is it really going to help the evaluator when I do these things? So examples would probably help.
Thank you, Jyotika. I'll move to DTM Maria. And while Vijay was commending the speaker, he spoke about volume, pace, and aspects like that. And he said volume was perfect. Now, would you use words like this when you're evaluating somebody, or would you try something different?
Yes. When we give our evaluation, we should never use, these words like superlatives. Superlatives don't help a speaker to improve the quality of their speech and presentation. So he did give commendations, and his commendations were more superlative. Okay, he spoke about very rich language and things like that. And he said it was nearly perfect, yes. Okay, so I would say that we should never use superlatives when we are, evaluating a speech. He gave more commendation rather than recommendation.
Thank you, DTM Maria. Yes, he focused a little bit more on body language when, of course, it was not possible today. I'm going to quickly jump to the summary. And I felt that was absolutely missing in his evaluation today. He
Exactly.
saw the
Yeah.
red light and, and concluded there. Jyotika, what would you do? Have you seen situations like this when, the evaluator sees the red light and stops?
Many
So what would you
times.
recommend? So what would you recommend in such cases?
Time management. Practice is what will help you here, and have clarity of what you want to do. So first of all, when we evaluate a speech, go with the mindset of helping the speech or the speaker. Let's not go with the mindset of I'm an evaluator and I'm supposed to do this job. But if you go with the mindset that how can I help this speaker become better, I think that'll ease out a lot of tension and create clarity. So two commendations, one or two recommendations. One could be a short term, and one recommendation could be a long term recommendation. With this speech, I felt that you did not understand what was required to be done here. And that's why you were saying, I challenge you, you come in front and speak. So obviously, this was something that was not the whole purpose of this. The event today was totally different. So that your presence of mind is very important. Listening skills are very important. And therefore, when you structure everything properly, you will have enough time for your summary. That is what I can say.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Fantastic. I think summarizing what we discussed, Toastmaster Vijay, is to give us a holistic overview of the speech through your evaluation, and you can do that with examples. Avoid using superlative words and throughout, but of course, focus on having a summary as well. Practice, but remember that you need to give the speaker clarity on how they can improve through your evaluation and summary. All right. With that, thank you both, Jyotika and DTM Maria, for those very, very, very valuable insights. I think this has been a fruitful panel discussion. Of course, the members have to say that, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your valuable thoughts, for sharing them with our evaluators and our members this evening. Thank you so much, and back to our Toastmaster of today, distinguished Toastmaster Lyra.
It's okay. Don't also just say Lyra Petrina. Thank you, dear panelists, DTM Jyotika and Maria Phyllis DeCosta, and our VP, and our moderator, DTM Daryl Rodrigues, for that in-depth and diverse evaluation. I know we are gone overboard, so I'll quickly cut short. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed walking with you through this session. Now I think I need to wind up. So thank you for your evaluation. Thank you for, helping us make this meeting a successful and valuable one. And now I hand over the virtual days, to our President, DTM Jyotika Shetty. Over to you, Jyotika.
Thank you very much, Lyra. And let's give Lyra a huge round of applause for her debut performance as a TMOD in this club. That's champion evaluators. So thank you very much, dear members, for the beautiful MOT we had, the beautiful meeting we had. Well, I sound like Donald Trump when I say beautiful for every single sentence. That's not my intention. However, today was a different day, and I enjoyed because I took up a new role, that is being a panelist, and I definitely enjoyed it. I hope you also enjoyed the meeting. A new learning, and let's keep ourselves open for learning new things. And like Radhika rightfully said, it's a new aspect that we have learned. And this is what that'll make us better as evaluators. Today's winner we had 3 evaluators today, but Ashima Jain went overboard and therefore was disqualified from voting. And may I request the VP Education, Daryl Rodericks, to share the winner of today's evaluation, or the best evaluator for this evening, is this Toastmaster Shalini Mukund. Congratulations, Shalini. Congratulations, Shalini, and we wish to see you progress. All our evaluators, but especially Shalini being the winner today, we wish to see you progress in this particular domain as well, and see you as a champion evaluator in District 121, 92, or any other district.
Thank you.
We have a contest. We have the contest coming up today, coming up this year's contest, and we have 4 contests this year. The district director or the program quality director have announced that this time we are going to have table topics, we're going to have humorous speech contest, evaluation, and we are going to have the ISC. So that is going to be a long day, and therefore we cannot accommodate all 4 segments in one day, and therefore we have split, or rather the EXCOM have recently sat together and decided 2 dates for our contest. And the first date will be, what is the first date, Daryl, that we have? One is
November, right?
November 24th.
Yeah.
Yes. The first segment, the first contest, which will include humorous contest and table topics, will be on the 24th of November during the meeting. So we'll have a regular meeting kind of a thing, and we will have our session, which is a Monday. And the second meeting, or the second contest, where we will have the IEC and the evaluation contest, that is on the Republic Day, Indian Republic Day, that is Jan 26th. Please take note of the dates. The first date will be November 24th, and the second date will be January 26th. The area contest has been announced on February 15th, and that gives you enough time to prepare yourself for the contest as whoever is going to move to the next level. That's the area contest. We will be putting out the dates formally so that you take note of this, but I'm just announcing it in this meeting. So thank you very much. Before we close, I would quickly like feedback from 2 members of how did you like this meeting? How did this new concept of just hearing the audio help you in your evaluation prowess? Who would like to go first? Is it so difficult?
Ashima.
All right, Ashima, please go ahead.
Yes. I just adored the whole concept today. It's like spotlight. There was no physical appearance, only audio. The reason being, it just let us focus on only 2 points and make us realize, how to concentrate only on 2 points at a time, so that we can uh, be more better at only 2 points. So yes, I love the format, though I overshoot the time because I was today uh, technically challenged. I'm on phone, so I could not see the timer. But otherwise, I love the format.
Lovely. Glad that you enjoyed it, Ashima, because this is a learning journey. You realize the self-awareness is what is important, and you just work on those areas. Anyone else would like to give feedback on today's session? Yes, Divya. Yes, Divya, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually also loved it. I mean, I expected it. I already accepted. I mean, I was always expectant of how audios I had already tuned in. And in fact, when you're listening actually with a keen ear, it really builds your listening skills to a very different level. And sometimes you actually, it's not just about the vocal variety. Because I'm a trained NLP person, right? Sometimes we look at calibration of even understanding how the person is thinking. And if you take your thinking to that level, it's very interesting, you may know. And next time we have this, the reason I'm saying this is because for the benefit of the people to really appreciate this, it'll be very interesting if you think from the perspective of, is this person walking and talking, or is that, you may not know, but if you really put your attention to that, it'll give you a very new perspective of literally listening, but listening with a very different sense.
Yes. I think we all gave an image today, right? As we were listening to the speech, we already gave an image of a girl standing in front of the audience and moving her hands. I at least did that. All right. One last one.
May I just
One
say
last one.
something?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
I was just thinking that when you have an audio speech, it depends a great deal on the word pictures that the person can project. So that is very important, especially when you don't have any visuals. We're so used to visuals now that our listening skills get improved. But to help our listening skills, it would help to have proper word pictures of characters, of locations, of, maybe the car, whatever, in all the characters. These are things that we could do very quickly, give a sort of picture of what is happening. Yes.
Well, I think it's
And also, one more thing. I think some people are blessed with good voices, Jyotika, Lyra. And when there is an audio session, voice is also very important. And I think we might learn how we, with maybe less voice strength, may project voices. Yes.
Yes, true. Agree, ma'am. Thank you very much for that. With that being said, I think we have overshot time. Oh, okay. We have Warren. Warren, do you want to say something? Yes,
Yeah,
I just
please go
wanted
ahead.
to I just wanted to add one point. Probably, see, the concept is new. We have a new idea of listening to the audio, but then seeing the person, President Jyotika, you said if it is a girl or a lady or a woman, we don't know, because she mentioned it started from the beginning when she was small. She also covered Ola, Uber, and I just wanted to understand what kind of age group she would have been when she was giving the speech. So I would want to visualize and see if she was a woman, lady, or a girl. That's
I
what
said
I wanted
Richa.
to.
Well,
Richa.
I would like to leave it to our imagination, right? And our imagination can run wild. And this also
Yeah.
expands our horizon in terms of thinking. So let's just give it to the benefit of the doubt that our imagination still needs to grow and expand. Thank you very much, my dear Toastmasters and members of CET, that is Champion Evaluators. We all had a great meeting. We'll come back again in 2 weeks' time for another meeting. Until then, happy Diwali, Festival of Lights,
Happy Diwali.
and may
Yeah.
Diwali
Happy Diwali.
brighten your life and your family's life with a lot of happiness, prosperity, and success, and good health. Thank you very much, and good
Yeah,
night.
I'm going to the capital to celebrate
I hereby
Diwali.
adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Bye.
Jyotika,
Yeah.